Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for those that are supporting me and are being patient with me as I relaunch and start anew basically with my brand and just having a very, very long hiatus. And also I want to say today I'm going to be reading for the October reading for the sign of Scorpio. And I'm very sorry, Scorpio. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. But I missed you. I skipped over you and read Sagittarius's. And I don't remember doing that, but I did. And you wouldn't have been forgotten about completely, I promise. I think in my mind, it was the moon was in Sagittarius when I read last. It was an incredibly busy week and has been busy weeks leading up to, relaunching and whatnot. And so anyway, I do apologize. I love you. I love all signs. I have no preferences. I actually have three, I think, important planets in Scorpio. And I say that because they're kind of heavy hitters, as they call them. One being Venus, and Venus is in your sign, Scorpio, for a while still. And that should be feeling good, even though it's not always completely comfortable. Now, as a Scorpio with it in your sign, it is a good thing, okay? We're looking on the optimistic side of life. And, Venus is also the ruler of Libra, and we're still in Libra season. So happy birthday to all the Libras. For the remainder, about a week and a day until it becomes Scorpio season, and it's your birthday, solar return, Scorpio. So lots of beautiful things, still kind of feeling the after effects of the eclipses. They're very strong and they're powerful, but I feel today I noticed a definite ease up on the energy. Perhaps you can relate to that since you are a feeling sign. And so I will do what I've been doing and hopefully you will like it. And that is to do a couple of little checks before we start your reading. And just know that I mentioned I would be probably later on in the month before I finished. And anytime you watch this is great. It's going to be leaning towards the mid-month, and we have an incredible full moon happening this week on the 17th. And I am reading starting the 13th, which is Sunday through the following, actually the end of the month. That's how I read, because I don't no specific time. All the energies are important. They affect us all. So, though in different ways, sometimes there's some similarities as well. So what I'd like to do is start with the chakra check. Chakras are essential. They're a huge part of our well-being. They reside inside of us in the energy field, throughout our bodies. And there are 8. It might even be more, I don't know. So far, that's what I've heard and have been following for a long time. And when I first learned about it, I was ecstatic about it because once again, it's energy and everything's energy and color is energy. And they equate the chakras to color for good reason. And so let us just pick really quickly. I'll just put this underneath the table here and just kind of, toss them around a little bit. See what Spirit wants you to know as far as maybe a specific chakra happening in your body and a little bit about the reasons why. So there's a beautiful saying that I can read to you, which I will do. And for you, we have, the solar plexus. Of course, the strength, the power, the self-love, the self-endurance, the bright brilliance of it all. When you find, and you're reading in certainly the Rider-Waite deck, a lot of the cards that have the yellow background are emphasizing in them that importance of just having that confidence and strength. And I fully believe with many Scorpios, even though they might be not outwardly showing it, there's a lot of confidence, a lot of certainly power. You are ruled by Mars, And I believe more currently, Pluto. So there's a dual there, but Mars is that energy, right? That's the warrior planet. That's the same planet that rules Aries, which has been a huge part of a lot of our lives right now in the last 18 months, with the eclipses being in North Node Aries, South Node Libra. Just your vitality, you just feel this inner strength, which, by the way, as a Scorpio, you have such capabilities of feeling. You sense things. You naturally are an empath in a lot of ways. I feel like you can walk in a room, you can look at people from a distance or close up and just sort of surmise very easily and quickly what they're putting out, and whether that's working or not. And you're a fixed sign, so if it's not working, you don't need to think about it too much, right, Scorpios? Now, I'm wearing my special black gloves for you because, come on, that's what it's about. The power of black. Isn't black all colors put together? I did hear that somewhere. And then look at this, the lace of it. Well, I have many, many gloves. That's my brand now. And you are a seductive sign. You're kind of a mysterious sign. You are definitely sensual and sexual. And like I said, feeling is a big part of your whole demeanor and who you are as a Scorpio and a water sign. So water is, it's one of those elements that has just innate capabilities, psychic powers, a lot of clairvoyance, a lot of, power in your dreams and seeing things maybe ahead of time, maybe trends, knowing ahead of time. And also, you're one of the most transformative signs. You have the ability to just change your life over and over, digging deep down and, really just that metamorphosis, that Plutonian energy is very, very much a part of your makeup. But so yes, I had to do the black. And then of course we do have, like I said, your sun season coming up. And Halloween in the veil tends to be a lot thinner between the worlds, which is always really a beautiful, kind of exciting thing as far as I'm concerned. Let me read the third chakra, though, specifically. My body and personality are in harmony. This is great. This is the influence still that's happening for all of us, should you allow it to happen. Always have that free will of Libra, being in balance and, working things through, seeing different perspectives, being as fair-minded and as fair, as open-minded, I guess you could say, in respect to other person's points of view and things. That's becoming more prevalent into your thought process, because I don't know that's what you would normally choose to do, but it's affecting all of us that way. I am strong, confident, and centered. Essential for, really creating anything in life, right? Having that purpose, as it says next. I know who I am and the purpose for which I am here. I've known many Scorpios. I mentioned I have, planets. I've got sidetracked, of course. I have Venus in Scorpio. I have Neptune, and Neptune is just, that is the dreamer and the imagination that's gone wild, if you will. And it can be elusive. It can be, deceptive at times. It's not something you can always grasp. But it's very, very powerful, and it's creative, and it's sensual in itself. It's love. It's so many things. And, well, I love this for you right now. So for any reason, if you're feeling other than this, it's Spirit letting you know to remind you, just be centered and take some time, which I know a lot of water signs need to do, to establish your energy and just kind of build it back up depending on what's going on, of course. But also it might be the field that you're in, like myself. When you work with energy, you might be a massage therapist, you might be working in the metaphysical field. I know a lot of Scorpios that do. And you think a lot, you go deep. You really do. You're intense. You can be intense in a wonderful way, extremely loyal too. I always have to put that out there. I really appreciate your persona and your characteristics very much. I've been in love with Scorpios. I've had great friends that are Scorpios. I seem to be around them quite a bit. Now, the other thing I wanted to share quickly before we do the reading is the chakra. No, that's not the chakra, although it does coincide. The crystal of the day. And for you, I just was feeling it, and I said, okay, and this is what I reached for. I've had this necklace forever. It came with a pair of earrings, and it is the moonstone. Hopefully you can see it, and the light is giving you a fair idea of what it looks like. Basically, it has a blue hue to it, right? And that's the watery part. That's the, the emotion and the fluidity of all water signs, where you can go in places where other people can't. Water can go places that, other elements can't. It's just, it kind of slides and it glides and it moves and it recedes and it, like the tides, right? And the moon controls the tides. This is very much associated with Cancer, also the water sign, and even Pisces, all water signs. But it's so gorgeous because it also, when you look at it in the light, it captures all the colors like Aurora Borealis and similar to opal. And therefore we go back again to the black and how you're basically all things, you're all feeling, all understanding. And so what it says, and I didn't write a lot about it for you, but it does say that the moonstone crystal is said to have a tangible connection to the moon's magic at giving protection, wisdom, harvesting passive and relaxing energy. That always feels good, right? And encouraging inner growth and strength. Well, I mean, we're all strong in our own ways. This is another indication and kind of a cool, synchronicity to the strength, right? It starts from within. So I like that. I hope you can appreciate that and something there resonates with you. I'm going to clear the board now and we're going to get into your reading, because it's a magical time, especially, we do have with Libra sun season, that's in your 12th house. And then, of course, goes into the first house when it's your sun sign. So the 12th house is, it's kind of, it's, I say a lot, don't I? Anyway, it's within, it's hidden, it's associated with hospitals, with incarceration. It can be self-restrictive energy. It can be, it's dreams, it's things that reside in our subconscious. And I feel like I just experienced prior to my birthday, not quite a week ago, that I was just reviewing and going over in my mind. I had some very powerful, important dream messages and signs. I feel like that's coming through for you, Scorpios. And just reviewing in your life and where you want to go and maybe what you want to reinvent and transform this time around, this year. There's a lot of that going on. I think this year was very prevalent in that. And yeah, and then when the time comes and you've actually reached your birthday and whatever, it feels right. You feel refreshed. You're kind of releasing things and doing all that as well. I think it's really a very understandable house that comes along, the last house of the zodiac that represents Pisces, which is a dreamy, kind of imaginative and extremely creative house in itself. But so let's see here now. We're going to do the Celtic Cross. For those that are new, I'm a psychic tarot reader, intuitive reader as well. And I do get messages. I do bless the cards, of course, and ask for clear and concise messages to come through. And they generally do. And then also, the Celtic Cross is great in the way that it has different positions in our life and what may be occurring for you at this time. with that. So let's go. The very first card is going to be your overall energy. You know, what specifically is the main, maybe even focal point, right? There's many. This would be the center card that kind of ruminates throughout the entire reading. And you have the World. Wow. This is a major arcana. I think I'm supposed to cover this part up, and I will. It's a wonderful, wonderful card to get as your focal energy. I mean, it's what it says. It's the last. See what I can do here creatively. It is the last card in the major arcana. You have traveled the, you know, the journey, if you will, starting with the Fool as a 0. You've had all sorts of people, places, and things. It doesn't matter what age you are. You know, it's the eternal aspect of our lives that continues to grow and move forward and learn and change and all these sort of things. And when it's the World, it's like you've established and done what you needed to do to this point. Whatever that is to you specifically. This is a general reading, right? But it's so much more. It's feeling like you've, you know, reached heights maybe you never thought that you could. There's an analogy with the Rider-Waite yet again, where the person in the World is, I'm mistaken. Forget that. Never mind about that. It does, although I'm sidetracking a little bit, I just remembered because it's not in front of me. It has all 4 of the fixed signs on it, and you're one of those. You know, there's the Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. And it's just like the World, anything you really want to do, anything you want to pursue, you know, you have that determination, which fixed signs certainly do. They call them stubborn, you call them what you will. There's an unprecedented desire to achieve and to complete whatever it is that you choose to go after. And it also, yeah, it's a change. It's like one ending of one cycle and the beginning of another cycle with the Scorpio, with the eclipses. It can absolutely change things in a heartbeat. I feel with the World, it's something that you really pretty much were working towards and creating and manifesting with pure intention. And know that it could be about travel. Absolutely. Maybe you have great ideas about traveling. Maybe you have been traveling. They say, and I would love to travel more. I've traveled a little bit. And in doing so, I just was captivated by other cultures and what's their lifestyle. And yet at the same time, realizing there's so many similarities no matter where we are in the world, because we are all connected. But that's the overall energy that's happening right now. You could be making a move. You could be involved somehow in foreign lands. I mean, it could have to do with your work. It could have to do with, like I said, maybe a trip you've just come back for, or you're planning. It's really a beautiful, you got the world in your hands. You can do whatever it is you need to do. And you plan on that. You will be doing that. So I love that a lot. Now we're going to cross this one with the blessings or blocks is what the title I like to put for this. And for you, it's going to be the Knight of Swords. Okay. Well, this is the element of air. So any swords represent either the Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius astrological signs. We are in Libra season. And actually, Jupiter has been in Gemini since last June and will reside there through next June. But it did retrograde on October 9th. And really, that's, once again, introspection. Anytime we have the planets going retrograde, it's about reviewing on a more internalized, personal level, as opposed to the outer, mundane, worldly events. But trust me when I tell you, now that I said that, because Spirit just said, please bring that up, there's some important, very, very important worldly events that are going to be taking place during your season. And so will you be affected by it? Absolutely. To what degree, I don't know. I would say take that time to sit and meditate and create a great inner peace and balance for yourself. I do want to say that the Knight of Swords is the quickest knight, and it is definitely a messenger. And they want to bring forth some information. And here's the sword representing truth, justice. It's a conversation. It is about something that you will be perhaps surprised to hear about. The eclipse effects have storylines that can last anywhere from 6 months to a year. And the last one in Libra just happened, on the 2nd and 3rd, depending on where you are, of October. So there's a lot. There could be some forthcoming information if you have not already heard about it. And I know for myself and what happens with me, sometimes it happens before the eclipses. It certainly can, but it definitely can trickle down, and you're going to get little, like little breadcrumbs, if you will. So that's something to keep in mind. I think it's something you definitely want to be hearing, because with the World card, you have your sights set on something like bigger than perhaps your view of your life or your dreams in the past. And this is going to be in there to say, okay, it could be somebody very important that's going to help you. And it could also be having to do with, some kind of, somebody in a field that would have a lot of prestige, or somebody you would turn to and trust, a lawyer, a doctor. Maybe you've had checkups and you're waiting on the answer. It's coming in. I feel like it's going to be thumbs up in a lot of ways. I can't say that across the board. I'm not a doctor or anything of that nature. This energy speaks of allowing you to be able to pursue and move forward. And then information may come quicker than you think. So then the next card is going to be your root chakra. Now that's super important. That's our foundation. That's kind of the basis of, without that, on an even keel or with a balance, life is not quite as good. Hence, once again, the chakras and, it's, hey, this is a balanced time with Libra. I'm a Libra, and I do think about all aspects of that. It's a holistic thing. It's not just one part, right? It's spirit, mind, and body. And you have the moon. Okay, so we got the moonstone. We got the moon, and you're in tune. And that doesn't quite rhyme, does it? Moon, tune? Yeah, it does. I did that without even realizing. The moon is really important right now. It was the eclipses, as I said, and then this full moon apparently is going to have some very important influence. It's Aries. It's, once again, Mars ruled. I like that for you. It's going to really kind of put that fire underneath you to pursue and to travel and to, even if it's not physically, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, you could definitely be getting downloads, and dreams might be more prophetic. There's illusion with the moon. There's lunacy and lunatics, as they say, which is true. So, it's a beautiful, bright supermoon that's happening in Aries on the 17th that I feel has something to do with your foundation. Once again, you could be moving. It's in tune, and it's also, I would feel, a complementary energy for you. This is just, about these kind of things, the things that you can't necessarily see, the senses beyond the senses, if you will. So you're just getting maybe more secure in that. Maybe you're pursuing a YouTube channel and you're wanting to delve into certain mystical aspects of life a little bit more intensely, and you're going to go travel places, maybe take a special course or something of that nature kind of comes to mind. Do let me know, okay? And do, please, if you like what you're seeing, I would love you to subscribe and like and get a personal reading. The information is below. My email address is always something you can certainly contact me, and I promise to answer. Don't be shy, okay? Because that's why I'm here. I'm here for you. Then we have the recent past, and you have the Hierophant. Well, this is the another major arcana, by the way. So that's 3. This is potent. This is really strong, and I find very beautiful. And I love the Hierophant in a lot of ways. It does represent Taurus. Taurus is the earth element. Taurus is a fixed sign. That was one of the ones we mentioned. So there's a lot of, things that are working together in this reading and making sense. There's going to be a cardinal cross, if you will, I think. I don't know the exact date, but that pertains to all the cardinal signs. That's notable and coming up for me for some reason. Mars, your ruling planet, has been in Cancer. That should be extremely good for you. It's going to be an extended stay. It goes into retrograde in December, at the end of it, into Leo, and then back into Cancer for, I don't know, just from February to April or something phenomenal. This is good for you, Scorpio. This is that power, and it's power in the ways that you like to use it, with your gifts. I'll leave it at that. The Hierophant is a teacher, it's a mentor, it's somebody that wants to maybe help you as well and guide you, and pretty set. It can be considered a religious rite. A lot of times it's somebody that can get somebody married. Maybe you're considering marriage. I don't know. I mean, it hasn't shown up that way specifically, but it's never out of the question. And with Venus being in your sign, you might be noticing that your attraction is even more noticeable and people are very drawn to you right now. So just take it for what it is and enjoy these. Love is a great thing, and you are a very passionate person, and you're very serious. And contrary to what people say, you're not as, what is it called when you you're very loyal. The word will probably come to me. What is it? It starts with the P. Maybe you know what I'm speaking of. You've gotten a bad rap. You're just supposed to be the sex symbol of the zodiac, and it's true. You love and appreciate the energy that comes with that, because to me, or to you, I say me because my Venus is in Scorpio. Oops. Yeah, the feeling of everything is really what gauges your understanding, and as I said, the depths run very deeply when it comes to love, especially. It goes beyond what really you can explain in words, so you do it by feel, and that's essential. But it doesn't mean that you're necessarily an unloyal person and you're always just, that's all that's on your mind. Actually, many Scorpios, myself included, with Scorpio Venus or whatever, we're just kind of, we stick with something when we really like it. We're all in, okay? We don't just dabble here, there, and everywhere. That's not really our thing. Promiscuous. Started with a P. I told you. You're not that person that, people say. I mean, there might be an age category that everybody is to a certain extent, right? But the Hierophant is definitely knowledge. And maybe it's within yourself. Maybe you're really feeling that strength, So let us go on with the next one, which is your possible future. And you have the Emperor. Whoa. And right along with the moon, which is the new moon, is the Emperor, which is Aries. That represents Aries. There's that strength again. There's the leadership. There's the solar plexus. That's It's just unmistakable. This is such a synchronistic reading, in my opinion, and it makes sense, and I love it. I love that when that happens. I love when Spirit does that for a reading. You may have Aries placements, but what I really feel is that this moon is going to really just put you beyond, just maybe you're just tipping right now the scales, as it were, and you're thinking, yep, I'm good. I've been thinking about it. I've been in the 12th house, really sitting with it, meditating, whatever you do, and something very prominent is going to be seen and offer a person strong energies in your reading, Scorpio. And that's your, possible future. This is your immediate future. And you have the 5 of Cups. Yeah, this has come up with 6 of the 8 I've done now readings. Yeah, it's recognizing what we have versus what is no longer with us. It's your element. It's the cups. Are they half full or are they half empty? Well, there's 5, so that's an uneven number, but 5 in numerology is about change and, perspective and recognition, definitely feeling. The Rider-Waite-Smith, you have the 3 cups spilt in front of you, 2 standing directly behind you, filled and content and, everything you need. And maybe you understand that, maybe that's all you need. There's a simplicity in this, but not to focus on things that aren't there, to truly really work with that energy and your thoughts and thought processes for the whole, law of attraction, if nothing else, to have it work for you and in your favor. And yeah, just recognize our blessings every day, right? I'm sure that you do. I guess I can't really express that enough, because that is exactly what you create. The more you do, it's such a beautiful law, I guess you could say, of the universe. There are just out and out laws that are just, they are what they are. The sun comes up, the moon comes up, the tides happen, yeah, we've had weather changes for sure. That's been something that's happened for millions of years too, but we cope with it, we make it happen. So that's good. I'm glad to see your energy in there, because you can transform it at any time. So then we go with the stem of the Celtic cross. First one being your overall point of view and kind of energy regarding this reading in your life in general, as I like to say, like the peripheral vision. And there you go. There's the new moon, something that happened with this eclipse. Oh, yeah, understandably. It really, you felt it right away. You probably felt it before, to be completely honest. And I'll tell you what else. In Libra, it's about relationships. So they mean a lot to you, Scorpio, even though you're perfectly okay being alone. And I've known many that are, and that's great, because then you have a relationship with you. I feel like you're coming around to understanding a whole different perspective. Something wasn't working, a different level, if you will, in relationships, not necessarily romantically involved only. As I look at your reading, it has potential for either, to be completely honest, because no one card is specifying either of those. Let's see if that's going to change. But you've got the moon, and then you had the new moon. So there's that, well, the moon, so you just naturally gravitate towards the rhythms of life and the feel. And you know stuff. You most certainly do. So I hope that was a good thing. I hope you were able to write down your intentions if you do that. Because a lot of these things that you have been perceiving and thinking about are going to be actually coming into practice. Now, mind you, this relationship thing I'm speaking of, it might not even be yours solely, but you're aware of it and you're around it in some capacity. And then we have the environment. Another one. I mean, these two have been like both 5s. There's 2 5s imminent change for sure, and it's the Five of Swords. I like this one out of all of them. This is the element of air yet again, and it's about the mind and the conversations and the, you know, irritations, the conflicts. You know, life is absolutely that. It certainly comes out during full moons. It comes out with eclipses and things just kind of coming in your way that you never imagined. And it doesn't even have to be like you're involved. You could be just the sidelines, you know, trying to stay as far away from that as possible. I truly have been doing that. Consciously doing it. It's the best thing we all can do. It's not always easy, but I would just recommend highly that you do what you do, because I think it's already being done. You're not interested in involving yourself in anything but truth. Did I mention how you're very much a truth? I mean, what you see is what you get with you. So that's good. We don't have to concern ourselves too much with that. Air energies that come up, they're as fleeting as the clouds, and, you know, they're wind, and they come and they blow, and, you know, as things are said, and then you may retain some of that because you're that sensitive person. Just be careful of how you perhaps respond, because, you know, you are very, very sensitive, and sometimes things come out of you really quick. I know this. I can relate. So then moving on to the next one is going to be your hopes and fears category. And I love this. Here you are. Here's the power again. 8, the most powerful, abundant, prosperous number. And it's the fire energy with the wands. It's news, it's information, it's coming fast. It's been coming fast. You're kind of almost like blown away. Now, I'm going to use myself as a reference, if I may. My business, it's as a massage therapist. I've been doing it many, many years, and it's still something that I tend to forget. And we've had a lot of changes, you know, in the last 4 years, no doubt. But I have wonderful, loyal clients. I love what I do. I'm going to do it as long as I can. And yet, I know there are certain times of the year, there's seasons, if you will. One of them is September. And so I started to see that again, where it was slowed down. Many people go on vacations because it's the last time before school. And, you know, gorgeous time to go. And I thought, oh, is this spirit, is this life telling me that, yeah, maybe you need to consider, well, I'm certainly considering, you know, readings as a full-time gig, and especially when I'm no longer doing massage, but I've been doing them in person now and continue to until, you know, until I'm not doing that. This isn't about me, though. This is about you. What I wanted to say was, I was questioning that. Perhaps you were too, involving your income or things of that nature, which is important to everybody. But I think you take that very personally, and it's always been an important thing, because you're self-sufficient. You rely on yourself mostly. And things have just picked up so much that I can barely find time. And I wanted to do the best I can, and will always continue to do the best I can. Certainly with getting out the readings and stuff, and it's just been wow. So maybe you understand that, and that's happened to you too. It's not going to stop with this Mars and Cancer. So just finding that balance is really important. Taking the time. Maybe you actually love it. I do. I thrive on it. I'm still allowing myself the breaks and things. You have to keep that balance, okay, Scorpio? And then we have the final outcome. And you have the Lovers. Okay, well, I was mentioning earlier, I wasn't seeing any specific signs, but I guess I can say now unequivocally that there's some very important romance. I think you're going to be asking to marry somebody, or they're going to be asking you. I think it's very, very possible. What I love about the Lovers is it is representing Gemini, and that's another, you know, Jupiter is the benevolent planet that brings along things every 12 years, depending on the sign it's in. And the Lovers is the right selection. You know, you may have been with this person a long time and you thought it's just right. And you've been, you know, very pensive. I wouldn't say you rush into your decisions, depending on what other, you know, placements you have, of course. But I think during these very, very potent times with the eclipses that are, like I said, going to be with us for a while. And I forgot to mention the Pisces that came in, because it's starting our new series next year in 2025 of the Virgo Pisces for 18 months. And that's going to be a game changer for you as well. Pisces is extremely complementary to your energy, and it's creativity and it's love and it's fulfilling your cups and your emotions and all the beautiful things that maybe just haven't been happening for some time. Not to mention that Virgo is not a bad thing either. I can't even tell you, there was a point in my life 30 years ago, I was doing readings and things pertaining only to, compatibility. The Virgo and Scorpio combinations, forget about it. It's everywhere. It's long term. It's very beautiful, and I love this. In fact, I'm quite taken by the power I feel. And here we get your solar plexus. So the universe is saying to you, just keep it up. And if you start to feel less than that, allow yourself time to meditate on it and focus on that and remove those blocks and recognize your strengths and just how much you have to offer us. So this is a great reading. I hope that you did resonate on some level. If you're not feeling it right now, give it some time, okay? I don't have a time frame per se, but I will tell you that, things do morph, and with all the energies that are around us, we have a lot of retrograde energy coming up, and it always happens at the end of the year. Just that much more time for self-reflection. And let me finish with the Psychic Tarot of the Heart deck by John Holland, which is, it's heart, it's love, it's our power, because our heart is the strongest organ in our body. I repeat this all the time, but I'm just fascinated in knowing and studying it up on it, that it's the most intuitive, and it's the most, I thought when we have intuitions, and I'm sure it's partly that, of course, I'm thinking it's coming from our brain. It's the heart. Ask your heart anything, anytime, and you will get those answers. And it's right there. It's just right there in us for the taking and the asking. So for you, beautiful, beautiful Scorpios, thank you for your patience. I truly appreciate everybody very, very much. Your last words of the reading: choose your battles. Okay, well, I think that's indicative of what's happening right now with this Mars energy. It can go either way, right? Five of Swords, it's not worth it. I'd rather walk away. You don't want to say something you want to regret, and if somebody else does, just let it wash off of you. Put that protective aura over you. It's 7, so that's divinely guided and spiritual number anyway. So you've always got that at your fingertips at any time, and I know you know that. I feel like I'm being redundant for a lot of the Scorpios who are hearing this, but I just wanted to confirm that you do know what you know, and keep it going. Okay, I thank you again. I hope you have an amazing October. There's still a lot left, with a lot more coming down the pike, and that you'll come back in November. Until then, thanks so much. Bye-bye.